is Bam like living in Florida now? Because I see him on Instagram all the time.
He's very nomadic.
Oh, okay.
He's
I thought he maybe had like a probation officer or like
I think he's free and clear of all that stuff.
Dude, he's ripping on the skateboard again.
He really is.
He's back.
Yeah.
It's insane to see.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he's been sober, but like to see how he basically went downhill after the whole after Viva La Bam, I think it was the last one.
Yeah, I think.
And then the Jackass stuff, like it's just like, and that's one of the things too that's crazy to me is like when somebody gets fame so early, it's really hard for them to like get a real grip on reality. You know what I mean? Especially when like you have everyone that's giving you everything you want and you have unlimited access to money and drugs and stuff like this. I feel like it's a common theme. I feel like, you know, like what happened with Bam.
I think anybody who has any measure of celebrity bestowed on them, like fame and fortune, comes with growing pains, I think, regardless of what age you're at. Certainly it's going to be harder to navigate if you're super young when it happens. Right. But I think that and I just think every case is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was super sad when we were talking to Novak to like, because I guess him and Novak don't talk anymore, right? Is that what he was saying?
I don't think so. Yeah, not at that time. I don't know if they do now.
I mean, he went for a long time not even talking to his parents, right. And even now I think he only texts. But
yeah, that's just it's super crazy to me because like, we grew up like watching all you guys like doing all this crazy stuff together, and that's like what inspired like me to even like get into doing this stuff.
It's crazy. I don't think there's anybody who's not been rooting for Bam to do well, like wanting him to be like, and that includes like Knoxville, Tremaine, like everybody like wants him to be happy and healthy, successful and thriving, right? Like without exception. And like I just view that it comes down to accountability. Like it seems very evident that he's managing to stay out of jail and out of rehab, and like that's great. And it would certainly seem that he's abstinent from drugs and alcohol. I just think that the key difference, what's going to unlock his potential, is to stop blaming everybody else, because whenever he finds himself in front of a microphone, it just sure seems like he's like, oh, Knoxville and the thumbtacks and whatever it is, like it's just this kind of, it seems like victim mentality, and it's everybody but him, and like he's never like everything just happened to him, and I just believe strongly that if you want to, assume the mentality of a victim, it's very easy to do that. But then you've relinquished control over your circumstance. Like when you take responsibility and accountability for your situation, like you can get a lot more done. You can. Sure. And I think that like when people are accountable, that in and of itself, like, just cultivates respect, and it's endearing,
No, but like it's got to be a hard thing for him too, because I think I could be wrong, but I think he like just dropped out of school to skateboard all the time, right, when he was really young. His parents, which is like a double-edged sword, because like on one hand you're enabling him to do like what ended up creating who he ended up being, which is Bam, like superstar, like, and on the other hand, it's like, you missed out on like a lot of like normal like life experiences and learning lessons that, normal people usually get. And for me, it seems like that combined with Ryan Dunn dying seemed to be like what really catapulted him down that rabbit hole, or that dark spiral,
I mean, sure. Yeah, I mean, like, it definitely didn't help, Yeah. But I also understand that Ryan Dunn was very much alive and present for at least one of Bam's interventions.
Oh, really?
I see.
Oh, okay.
So, like, the issues were there already.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but whatever. I mean, I'm still like, you know, like I absolutely believe that it's never too late. You know?
Yeah, totally.
And especially when it comes to alcoholism and addiction, you know, there's no such thing as too far gone. There literally isn't. You know, like and if anything, there's such a thing as not far gone enough. You know, like it's perhaps counterintuitive, but you know, the first step is we admitted we were powerless, that our life had become unmanageable. You know, like the first step is to admit defeat. And if you're not far gone enough, if you're like, oh, you know, like I don't have a problem that's that bad, like I still kind of got it, then you're just not a candidate.
Bad enough to keep going.
You're not, yeah, and that's like to me
never recover from it.
100%. That's to me the worst situation would be to just kind of have alcoholism. Like enough that it can slow you down and screw up your relationships and stop you from accomplishing your goals, but it's not bad enough that it needs to be addressed.
Right.
So like your life just slips through your fingers, just years at a time, decades go by, and then you're like, what? I blew it.
Yes.
As opposed to having alcoholism so terribly bad that it cannot continue.
Ever,
Like,
yeah.
Right.
you know, like me and Novak, basically, I would say. You know, like
Sure.
the way that we were operating was not okay.
Yeah,
and
my
and
God,
like we
dude.
had to acknowledge that. And because it was so bad, then okay, we became willing to address it. You know?
Yeah.
Like the you really want to overshoot the mark of like
You really
of
want
needing
to
help.
overdo it.
Yeah, you don't want any like you know,
You don't wanna
plausible
just dabble.
deniability.
Right.
It, like that I'm so grateful for that because like I do not have to wonder if I need to do the stuff that the sober people need to do. Like it's very clear to me. Like I have like it, you know.
You have to.
I got it.
Yeah.
So like having, you know, being in like a gray zone, it's not bueno when it comes to this.
Yeah, because you could just end up just going farther and farther and farther
Yeah.
until you end up dying. And it's a miracle some of the, you know, like Novak
Right.
didn't fucking die.
Big time. I mean, when your situation's as bad as ours was, and then you actually do something about it, like, all right. Because, like, being wasted all the time, it's such a time suck. It's such a resource drain. You know, like, and on top of that, you're creating so much wreckage and like, just being counterproductive, like, going in the wrong direction. And then, like, when you, like, actually get clean and sober, like, you've now freed up so much of your time, so much of your resources.
Right.
Like you're not like trying to undo damage. You know, like you're not on defense. Like
But
you're
what if they work together though? Like you know, some of the biggest rock stars in the world who are literally when in their 20s getting paid to fly jets around the world.
Right.
And as soon as they land, a chauffeur shows up with a briefcase full of cocaine and
Sure.
every single drug known to man. And it's
mean-
just enabling you.
I mean,
I think there's an argument to be made that drugs can enhance creativity and like
sure.
and make I feel like there's a lot of big artists who were way better before they got sober, and once they got sober their music just sort of like dried up.
I had an interesting conversation one time. Somebody said, "Give me an example of you know, bands or musicians that have been around for decades and made their best music at the end of their career."
When they got sober.
Well, no, I'm not even
Oh,
talking
the
about
end of their career.
Just like
Okay.
in the back half of
Okay.
you know. And I was like, oh come on, there's got to be, you know. And then like the more we thought about it, it's like you know. So like I'm suggesting that by this argument, sobriety is not a factor there, but just like the longer you're at it and the more you're doing it, like, I mean, who can think of, you know, maybe we put it to the comment section, you know,
that's a
like
good question.
suggest bands that have been around for decades that are
Metallica's a good example. Their new album is actually really fucking good. Like it's on
I think
par.
a lot. I mean, so now
It's
and now
not the
you.
I mean,
old
you're not going to
albums.
say it's not Ride the
Yeah.
Lightning. It's not,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, you just like made a glaring point, valid point that like we're in a deeply subjective water.
Yeah.
So, you know, so you can only kind of go with like consensus and maybe like take it to a poll, you know, like the majority of people think, but yeah, it's interesting, man. And I don't disagree. There was a point like for me, like to the point of like successful and everything's working, you know, like in my early career, like being out of control and wasted all the time, like it just worked right in there with my brand, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, you see Bam still like trying to like, oh yeah, the more we're on TMZ, like the, you know, the better it's publicity. And like, you know, like it's, there's a point when it was working and that was great. And I got away with it.
Yeah.
And there's a point when it stops working. And I think that, you know, on some level, there's a lot of, you know, my wasted years that was of supreme value in a creative sense. But as I got towards the end of my run with drugs and alcohol, it had really devolved, you know? And then it was just like, oh, what did I pee on this time? You know, like, oh, Steve-O peed on a red carpet. Or like, you know, like...
Yeah.
Got kicked out of here for doing that, you know, like
Creativity wasn't so fresh
right.
anymore.